Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Microsoft Reactor live stream event. Today, we're excited to have Prashant Payar, a Microsoft AI MVP, present Building Intelligent Enterprise-Grade Help Desk Bots using Conversational AI. If this is your first time joining us, please note that for our team's live event session, there is a 20-second delay from the speaker to the audience. Please feel free to post questions as they come up into our chat, but just note that there might be a little bit of a delay between us receiving it and responding. Additionally, please be aware that we will be recording this session and then posting it to our YouTube channel. I will drop that link into the chat box as well, so you can have access to it. And then please note that the Reactor program is always striving for new and engaging content. So at the end of this session, I will be providing a survey link. And if you can fill that out and submit it so we can get additional feedback and know what the community is looking for from the Reactor, we'd greatly appreciate that. At this time, I'm going to pass over the floor to Prashant for him to begin the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where are you joining us today. So today we will be talking about building enterprise-grade helpdesk bots using conversational AI. And who am I? My name is Prashant G. Boyer. I was born and raised in India. I came to United States back in 2007 for studies. I'm University of Maryland College Park alumni. I co-authored a book called PowerShell for Office 365. I also acted as a technical reviewer for the book Pro SharePoint 2013 Administration. I am from Washington, D.C. area, and I organize a lot of community events as well as conferences. And pre-COVID-19 pandemic, all the events used to be in-person event, and now we pretty much converted all the events as online event. So if you are interested, along with Microsoft Reactor events, if you are interested joining for additional events, you can definitely check us out on meetup.com. So I organize 3 meetups. One is on AI and machine learning, another is on Microsoft 365, and the third one is on SQL and big data. And these are the conferences we organize throughout the year. So definitely check us out on meetup.com and you will find more information about the upcoming conferences. I am recipient of Antarctic Service Medal, and I got this award from US government back in 2008 for the service I did in continent Antarctica. If you are interested to know more about that, you can always hit me up on various social media platform, or you can also email me as well. As Rebecca mentioned, I am a recipient of Microsoft MVP award. And those of you who are not familiar with this award, so I don't work for Microsoft. It's just additional recognition that Microsoft gives out to the folks who does technical contributions in various categories. And those technical contributions can be in the form of writing blog posts, creating training videos, then answering people's questions on various forums, and also providing the feedback to the Microsoft product group, and of course speaking at various conferences. And this award is valid for 12 months only. And after every 12 months, we have to apply for renewal. So first time I got this award was back in 2017, and that time my category was SharePoint. I have a lot of background in SharePoint, and in 2019 I changed my category to AI because I'm doing a lot of work in the AI and bot space. And currently I am working as a senior solution architect with a company called Witham. We are based in East Coast of US. We have close to 1,000 employees. We also have office in California, and recently we opened office in India as well. And I focus on intelligent business process automation, where I use a lot of various products and services from Microsoft, like bots, the Azure AI, the Power Platform, the SharePoint, to build intelligent process automation. And as I mentioned before, I am from Washington, D.C. area, and I work from Witham's Washington, D.C. office. So this is a quick information about our company. We have two Microsoft MVPs on the staff. We have done 100 plus cloud deployments, and we have 50 Microsoft consultants are dedicated to Microsoft Stack only, and we are providing services in Microsoft ecosystem from last 17 years, and these are the various capabilities that we have. So now let's talk about today's talk. So we will start with why we should what why should we explore having bots in the help desk. Then we'll jump into like what are various options available to us if we have to create chatbots in Microsoft ecosystem. So we'll start with Microsoft Bot Framework. We will start with the Azure Bot Service. Then we will go like how to get started, how to quickly create a prototype or a minimum viable product that you can quickly explore. Then we will start with, we'll also cover what are cognitive services, what are Power Virtual Agents. We will have lots of demos. In the end, we will talk about key takeaways. And since it's a Teams live event, please feel free to post your questions in the chat window. And I'm using two screens or two monitors today, so I will be periodically monitoring if there are any questions in the chat window, and also Rebecca will help us as well. So, and I prefer this session to be interactive. So if you have any questions regarding today's topic or regarding Microsoft in general, regarding Azure or Azure AI or bots or Microsoft 365, feel free to post those questions in the chat window. So why we should be thinking about using bots in the enterprise, or let me take that back. When the title of this talk is like using like building the enterprise grade help desk bot using conversational AI. So why we should invest our time in learning about AI? So I personally think because of all the advancements that are happening in the computation, the tech industry in general is focusing on using AI in the business application. And this AI, machine learning, and bots ecosystem is at the same stage when mobile development was when iPhone 1 was launched. So if you go back 13 years, 2007, when Apple introduced iPhone 1, very few enterprises or very few product companies were writing applications from mobile devices. Now, fast forward 13 years, if I am launching a product, or if in my company, if I'm launching a new initiative, the project sponsor would like to make sure that product or that internal service will work on mobile device at least. And then if you have surplus fund, then that will work on a desktop application. So we already have seen a shift in the industry where most of these popular apps are getting launched as mobile apps only, like the Instagrams, the Robinhoods. And later on, if there is enough response from the audience, then the companies are launching the desktop version of it. So I personally think similar thing will happen with the AI ML space, where in next 2-3 years, if I am launching a product or internally in my organization, if I'm launching an initiative as a project sponsor, I would like to make sure we are using some kind of AI and machine learning in it. And one of the stats I would like to give you here to highlight this is, and again, these stats are old and from 2017 holiday season, where Amazon sold millions of Alexa devices. And Alexa is nothing but a voice-based bot. Again, I will go back to my iPhone analogy. If you go back 2007, when Apple announced about iPhone 1, very few enterprises were supporting mobile devices that time. Unless you, like if you are a C-level executive or senior manager, then most a few organization used to give out to those folks as a BlackBerry devices so they can check the emails. However, after the launch of iPhone 1, the smartphone became very, very popular in people's personal lives. Like a lot of people started using this in their personal life. And then gradually, without us noticing it, now you will see that we are expected to use our smartphone to get our work done. So those devices are already proliferated into the enterprises. And it doesn't matter whether you join a it doesn't matter if you join a new company, it doesn't matter whether you're joining a government organization or a non-profit or a private firm. You are expected to carry a smartphone and you are expected to get some work done using the smartphone. So same thing will happen with the devices like Alexa, which is from Amazon, or Google Home, which is from Google, and Cortana from Microsoft. If millions and millions of people get comfortable using these devices at home, sooner or later you will see the same kind of devices will be sitting on your work desk, and you as a employee then expected to use those devices to get your work done. And it doesn't matter what your role is, because if you are IT pro, then you are expected to know how these devices work so you can provide the support. If you are a developer, then you need to know how to create the application which will work on these voice bots. And as a power user or as a business user, you need to know how to use those devices. And one of the things why I personally think that AI ML will be mainstream is to use AI and ML, you don't need to be a data scientist. And that's a big uh, shift or trend that we have seen in the industry. And the analogy I would like to give you here is, if you have done any kind of web development, then you may have heard about the popular JavaScript frameworks like Angular or React. So to use this framework in your application, you don't need to know how these frameworks got built from the ground up. All you need to know is how to use these frameworks and create applications satisfying your business requirement. So same are the use case with AI as a services from various vendors like Microsoft or Google or Amazon, where and IBM, where you don't need to understand the basics of data science and machine learning, as long as you know how to consume those AI services and make your application intelligent. So let's talk about what is AI, because since we talk about conversational AI, a lot of time I have seen there is a lot of confusion or a lot of misconception when it comes to the AI. So this is the definition of AI, and I got this definition from Google's AI researcher, where it's an effort to automate intellectual tasks normally performed by humans. And AI is not new for us. Like we as a humans are using AI since World War II. And you may not even notice that we are using AI. One of the perfect example is if you have used elevator to go from one floor to another, you just have to go inside the elevator, and if you, let's say if I press number 3 button, then the elevator will automatically take me to the number 3 floor. So there is already an inbuilt AI there. If you are using a thermostat at home, and let's say if you set the temperature to 75°Fahrenheit, then the thermostat will make sure the temperature in that particular room is maintained. So we are familiar with AI and we are using AI. The hype that you will see now is because we have a very sophisticated computational power. So we can have very powerful machine learning algorithm, which we can help us to solve the bigger problem. So when it comes to AI, we can categorize AI into 3 categories. One is the strong AI, where the machines are so powerful they can destroy the planets, they can invade the planets. We are not there yet. This stuff only exists in the science fiction movies. Then the second category is artificial general intelligence, where machines are powerful and they can perform really complicated tasks, which are very difficult for an average human to perform. Now, here I would like to give an analogy of a character from the Iron Man franchise. So there is a main character there called Tony Stark, and Tony has a personal assistant called Javris. And Javris is very intelligent. He can perform a lot of complicated tasks on his own, which are difficult for an average human being. So again, AGI only exists in science fiction movies and novels. We are not there yet. So where we are is we are at weak AI, where we have specialized services for specialized tasks. For example, on the screen, you may be seeing whatever I'm speaking is automatically get translated to English. And I'm using this inbuilt feature in PowerPoint where I can select what language this speech to text should happen simultaneously. Uh, so we are using that speech to text service here. Similarly, we have services for vision, we have some services for text. So there are we right now, and we as a human society are working towards going from VKI to AGI. And the biggest bottleneck for that making that jump is the computation power. I don't know whether you remember or not. Microsoft talked about quantum computing during the Ignite of 2017 or 2018. So if the quantum computing gets mainstream, then the jump from VKI to AGI will be faster for us. And when it comes to AI, you may be hearing these different terms. Like deep learning, text to speech, machine learning, natural language processing, robotics, image recognition, machine vision. So all these things are part of AI in general. So this is the mission statement I got. Is mission statement from Microsoft, and what Microsoft would like to do is they would like to make data science and AI accessible to everyone, and it doesn't matter what your role is, where you are working, and they are really working hard towards it to this towards this mission statement. And some of the services and products that you will see are actually coming out of this mission statement. So when it comes to AI, and from now onwards, the contents will be focused on Microsoft ecosystem only. And if there are any relevant examples for in other ecosystems, I will mention that. So when it comes to AI in Microsoft ecosystem, the majority of the services are part of the Azure AI. And under Azure AI, under apps and agents, we have Azure Bot Service and Azure Cognitive Services, which we'll be covering today. Then under knowledge mining, we have Azure Cognitive Search. Under machine learning, we have Azure Databricks, Azure Machine Learning, and Azure AI Infrastructure. And under AI as a service from Microsoft, we have cognitive services. And what cognitive services help us to do is it helps us to infuse intelligence into the apps with some pre-trained models. And with the integration of cognitive services, we can create intelligent bots that we can then deploy to various channels or various services. So when it comes to AI, these are the various resources you can follow. So if you are interested in learning about the cognitive services, you can follow this link. Here you will find the getting started guides. If you are interested about bots, you will find information about the bots here. And here you will find information about the quick start guides. If you are interested in machine learning and deep learning, you can find more information on this link here. And I will definitely recommend you to check aischool.microsoft.com. Here you will see a lot of free tutorials available if you are interested in exploring various products or fields that are there in the AI stack. So if you are like me, where you are interested in getting into Microsoft AI stack, but you just don't know where to start. So I had the same question 3 years before when I started playing with Microsoft AI system. Okay, I'm interested in learning about Microsoft AI, but I just don't know where to start because there are so many products and services there. So you can follow this simple flowchart depending on what you would like to do. Are you into data? Would you like to learn data science and machine learning, and you would like to build your own model? If that's the case, then Azure Machine Learning is for you. Or you're like me, where you are more interested in consuming pre-trained model, then cognitive services and bots are for you. If you are interested building your own machine learning model, then depending on where you would like to host that, you have various options here. Again, the options here are a little bit old because I'm pretty sure there are a few more products or services Microsoft has added into the bottom section here. But today in this talk, we will be focused on the pre-trained models where we'll be using cognitive services along with the bots. So with that, let me see if there are any questions in the chat window. Okay, so I see. Okay, so Abhi is asking me, can you give me an example of a pure AI application which is not a machine learning? So Abhi, I gave you an example in the beginning of the talk regarding the elevator. and also the thermostat. So those both use AI inbuilt in it, but however, we are not using any kind of machine learning model there. So that AI is implemented using uh, the hardware circuits there. I hope that answer your questions. Okay, looks like the rest of the questions are related to the logistics of this particular talk. All right, so let's move on. All right. So now let's talk about why bots, why we should care about introducing bots into the help desk, right? Because not typically in most of the organization, the help desk is provided either via email support or voice-based support. So let's talk about why we should think about creating the bots in the help desk. So this is a typical scenario you will find in a lot of the help desk. If you ask any person who is working in a help desk, and let's say if your company launch a new initiative or a law or change, or let's say one of the classic example is if there is a new uh, if there is new rules in the health in the annual health benefits, then instead of reading the documentation, majority of the folks will just open a new issue or reach out to HR to get their to get their question answered. So if your organization is in the same boat, here you can take the example of the bots, uh, where the bots can handle some of the repetitive and simple questions. And if the bot is not able to handle those questions, then you can use the other resources from your help desk, like the actual human, to answer those questions. So bots provide you more natural and human computer interaction. And also, as I mentioned in my previous slide, it helps you to automate repeated tasks and free up the resources. Like imagine on a typical day, your help desk has two people and you get typically 50 tickets. And out of those 50 tickets, 30 tickets are very, very simple. But however, two help desk resources have to spend a lot of time in solving those 30 tickets, and they have very less time available to solve the 20 tickets which are more complicated. Imagine a situation where you have bots who can take care of those 30 tickets. So your two help desk person then can focus their entire attention to on those 20 tickets which are more complicated, and we cannot use bots for that. So that's a real good use case for using the bots there. Another thing is running a help desk 24/7 is very, very expensive operation. If you use bots for your out of office service, then your bots will be available all the time. And depending on where are you and what kind of device you are using, bots can be available pretty much everywhere. Because if you go with Microsoft Bot Framework, and if you create a bot, you can deploy that bot to various devices or channels. And that way, you can have that bot available not only in your car, but on your desktop and on your mobile as well, or on a public facing website as well. And also, if you have done the implementation right of your bot, the bot can adapt depending on the circumstances. If you integrate your bot with AI as a services, where depending on what kind of conversation your customer is having with the bot, whether he is pleased with the responses or whether he's getting irritated, you can take the action right away, where if your customer is getting irritated by interacting with the bot can then sense that using AI as a services in the backend, and then transfer the control to the actual human agent who can address that situation in a much better way as compared to the bots. Also, bots are appealing, and also if the implementation of the bot is done right, it simplifies the UI as well. And as I mentioned before, if you go with Microsoft Bot Framework, then it supports multiple channels. Now, don't get confused the channels in the context of the bots and the channels that we get in Microsoft Teams. Those are totally different. So channels in the context of the bot means if you create a custom bot using Microsoft Bot Framework, you can deploy that bot to various other products or services. Like I can deploy that bot as a web chat. I can deploy that bot as a direct line with the voice support. I can deploy that bot to Microsoft Teams. I can deploy that bot to Facebook, to the Slack and Kick and some other products as well. And this is the statistics I got from various agencies where the bots may help you to connect with the young users, especially if your organization is big and you have employees in various age categories. Then what a lot of companies have found is the young users tend prefer to interact with bot as compared to the actual human agent. And when it comes to the bot, we are already familiar with various kind of bots when it comes to our personal lives. Like if you are a customer of a major financial institution like Bank of America, Citigroup, or Capital One or Wells Fargo, and if you call their help desk number, that call is picked up by a voice-based bot. And depending on the answer you provide to the various questions, then the bot will decide whether to give you the information right away or transfer the control to the actual human agent. So we are already familiar with the bots in our personal lives, and sooner or later you will be seeing that we can introduce bots in our enterprises as well. So if you are convinced that you would like to at least do a quick POC with the bots, or you would like to do a quick testing with the bots, then these are the option available to us when it comes to creating custom bots in Microsoft ecosystem. And these options are available into two categories. One is software as a service and another is platform as a service. Those of you who are not aware of the clear differences between the two, software as a service means the vendor will take care of everything when it comes to the hosting, when it comes to adding the new features to the service, and we will just need to use that service. One of the classic example is if you sign up for the email on outlook.com or gmail.com. So both these products are available as a software as a service where the vendors, the Google and Microsoft will take care of hosting the emails for us. And if there are any new updates, those two vendors will make sure those update gets pushed out. We as a user, we just have to subscribe to it and then start using it. And we cannot do a lot of modifications to it because the number of changes we can do in your Gmail box, inbox, or your Outlook inbox are limited. And under platform as a service is the vendor will be still hosting the services for us, but we will have our complete control when it comes to what goes on to that service, what kind of business logic that service will use. So right now we have two options there. One is under software as a service, we have something called Power Virtual Agents, and Power Virtual Agents are launched during the Ignite last year, and it provides a no-code experience for the bot development. And it's ideal for business users and domain experts to easily build a bot. And you can go to this link, powervirtualagents.microsoft.com, and you can quickly sign up for the trial, and you can quickly try out how easy it is to create a custom chatbot using a Power Virtual Agent without writing a single line of code. Under platform as a service, we have Microsoft Bot Framework, and Power Virtual Agent is actually built using Microsoft Bot Framework. So the product group from Microsoft who's responsible for development of the Power Virtual Agent, behind the scene, they use Microsoft Bot Framework to create a Power Virtual Agent. Microsoft Bot Framework is an open source SDK and tools, and its purpose is for the bot development, and it's ideal for the developers. So you need to be a developer to use Microsoft Bot Framework to create custom bots. There are a few cases where you can still use Microsoft Bot Framework in combination with Azure, and you can create custom bots without writing a single line of code. And you can find more information about Microsoft Bot Framework by going to this link here. As I mentioned before, Power Virtual Agents are Microsoft announced about that during the Ignite last year, and they are part of a under Microsoft Power Platform. When it comes to the Microsoft ecosystem, you can easily divide Microsoft products into three broad categories. category number one is Azure, which is their public cloud, where you will see Azure AI and some other options as well. Then second is Microsoft 365, where you will see productivity suites like the Mail, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint. And the third is Microsoft Power Platform, which is a low-code platform that spans between Microsoft 365, Azure, and Dynamics 365. So this Power Virtual Agent is part of the Power Platform, and it helps you to create no-code chatbots without writing a single line of code. And you can integrate those chatbots with other Power Platform products and other services in Azure, as well as in Microsoft 365 as well. And Power Virtual Agents are built on the top of Microsoft Bot Framework, and also it uses Azure Cognitive Services behind the scene without us even noticing what kind of services we are using. And there is a good integration story available with the various Power Platform products as well. So this is how you can visualize the bots in Microsoft in Microsoft ecosystem, where below the pyramid you have Microsoft Bot Framework and Azure Bot Service, where you will be creating code-based bot. And then if you don't want to write code, then you will be using something called Power Virtual Agents. And there is a good integration story available between the Power Virtual Agents and Microsoft Bot Framework by using something called Bot Framework Skills. So if you have a custom bots built using Microsoft Bot Framework, you can deploy that bot as a bot framework skills. And then from Power Virtual Agents, you can call those bots. So there is a really good integration story available between the Power Virtual Agents and Microsoft Bot Framework. So with that, I will pause and see if there are any questions before we moving on to the Microsoft Bot Framework. So let me see. So there is one question from Mr. Novak. Is bot equal to text only or voice also? Excellent question. So we can use when it comes to Microsoft Bot Framework, you can create your bot so when you deploy your bot for the first time, it is automatically available as a chat bot, but you can also add support for voice-based bot as well. Will you address the ethics of voice AI? So unfortunately, no, we will not be covering ethics of voice AI in this particular talk. However, I will definitely recommend you to check the sessions from Microsoft Ignite, which will happen starting tomorrow. And there are some really good sessions on ethics in AI from Microsoft. And again, Ignite this year, which is Microsoft flagship conference, is free and this year, and it's going to be 100% virtual. Another question from Mr. Novak. Voice AI also reduces workflow friction in business and industry. Yep, that's a good. Okay, Mr. Novak is asking, will I be addressing security? I will be touching regarding security a bit because the bots will be creating in the context of our organization. So that way we'll be adding some layer of security over there. But if you are looking at using bots for voice-based recognition, then unfortunately that we will not be covering today. Okay, where can I find which languages are supported by Microsoft Bot Framework? So for that, to integrate voice-based support to your bot, we had to use a cognitive service for that. And we can find the information about that by going to that respective cognitive services pages, where Microsoft will list out what are the languages which are supported, what are the languages which are generally available, and what are the languages which are still in preview. Then the next question is, will you be address accessibility? Unfortunately, in this talk, no, I will not be addressing accessibility because to be honest with you, if I had to cover all these topics, then we are looking at least a 4 to 5 hour session. So that because to cover how to create the bots and also address the accessibility and also the AI and ethics, I need to have a bigger time frame. But this is something good feedback, and Rebecca can work on adding a few sessions which are focusing on accessibility and AI ethics in AI. All right, looks like those are all the questions that we have so far. Okay. Now let's talk about what is Microsoft Bot Framework. So Microsoft Bot Framework is, as I mentioned before, is an open source SDK where if you use your Microsoft Bot Framework to create your custom bot, this will be your custom bot, and then your custom bot uh, will be, and again, with Microsoft Bot Framework, you can use language of your choice. So right now, there are 4 languages supported. One is C Sharp, second is Node.js, third is Python, and the fourth one is Java. However, one thing you have to keep in mind is if you are planning to host your bot using Azure Bot Service, then right now only C Sharp and Node.js is supported. There is no support available in Azure for Java-based bots and Python-based bot. So basically, you will be using Microsoft Bot Framework and using the language of your choice. You will be building the bot, and your bot can integrate with other line of business application. And then you will, to add the human edge, you will be integrating your bot with Microsoft Cognitive Services. And once your bot is ready, using bot connector service, you will be deploying that bot to various devices or channels like the web chat, Facebook, Kik, Slack, Telegram, Twilio, Direct Line, etc. Now, this thing is important to know here. Like the reason I have this diagram here is if one thing you should take home from this talk is a bot is nothing but a website with a different kind of user interface. So if you keep that concept in mind, then a lot of things comes really, really easy when it comes to developing the bots. Because if you see here, if I use Microsoft Bot Framework and if I create a bot, that bot will not have any inherent intelligence in it. I had to add intelligence to it via using some of the AI services. And again, here, Microsoft Cognitive Services are recommended because you will see maximum integration between the custom bots and the Microsoft Cognitive Services. However, you can also inject your own AI services here. If you are not a Microsoft shop and you are a Google shop or IBM shop or let's say a AWS shop, you can also inject the AI services from other vendors, as well as you can also inject your proprietary AI services here as well. And then you can deploy your custom bot to various channels here. So as I mentioned, a lot of channels are supported, and these are the channels there. And I personally recommend you to check the list of channels which are available because the list keeps growing day by day. However, I have mentioned here the most popular channels which are getting used. So that comes to the question is, if a bot is nothing but a website, in the hindsight, where can we host the bots, right? So if you go with Microsoft Bot Framework, uh, of course, the Azure Bot Service is recommended. However, it is not required. If you go with Azure Bot Service, you will get a lot of a good integration with various Microsoft products. However, if you for some reason don't want to use public cloud, or for some reason you don't have access to Azure, you can still use Microsoft Bot Framework to create custom bots and host that to your VMs. And that virtual machines can be anywhere. It can be in Azure or any other public cloud, or it can be in your on-premise data center as well. So keep this in mind because I get these questions a lot. Because there is a confusion where if I go with Microsoft Bot Framework, then I have to host my bots in Azure. No, you can host that bot other places as well. So this is the typical flow chart you should be following when you are creating a bot. And bot development is fairly new, and there is a good percent of chances where when you launch your bot for the first time, you will not get it right everything. So that means you have to do some revisions to it. So first thing first, since the user interface is a little bit different when it comes to the bots, so you have to spend a lot of time in planning what kind of user interface you would like to give your bots to. If a user asks a question, in what format the information will be displayed, and depending on the information displayed, if the user come back with additional questions, or if they would like to do something else, what kind of experience you would like to do. So you have to do a lot of planning over there. Then the next, once you have the rough layout ready, then you start building your bot. Here you can use Bot Builder SDK, and to add the human edge or to add AI services, you can go with cognitive services, and there are some templates available from Microsoft here as well. The another thing which is really good feature of Microsoft Bot Framework is we can use an emulator, which is an open source free tool available, which allows us to test bot locally. And this emulator is cross-platform. That means you can use this emulator on Linux machine, on Windows machine, and on Apple devices as well. And while testing, you can integrate your bot with something called Application Insights. An Application Insight is another service from Microsoft where you can track what kind of questions the bot is asking, or the users are asking, what kind of responses the bot is giving. However, again, this one is optional. You can use your own similar or competitive product here. And then you will publish your bot. Either you can publish your bot to Azure or you can publish to your own web host. And then you connect to various channels. And once the bot is live, then this is where you will be spending majority of the time. As I mentioned, bot development is very new, and chances of getting your bot right in the first attempts are less. So you will be doing a lot of iterations and then doing some changes in the bot and see whether your users like it or not. And you can keep track of that using the Application Insights or similar a service just to find out how your users using the bot, whether any tweaks needs to be there or not. So with that, let's see if there are any questions before I jump into the demo section of the talk. So let me quickly scroll through the chat window one more time. And Rebecca, please let me know if I miss any questions so far, because sometimes the Teams live event won't refresh the chat for me. All right, so looks like I have addressed the questions. Okay, I see a comment where if I using the bots for the help desk, then that means automating some repetitive task. I tend to, I can, let's say, I will, let's say, agree 20% by that statement, and I will disagree 80%. Yes, you can automate some of the repetitive tasks using bots. However, I will show you in some of the examples where the AI will come into picture and how that will constitute as a intelligent bot. Okay, and just bear with me. I'll be showing that in the demos. Are there any further questions? Looks like no. So let's straight away jump to so the demo part of it. So the first bot I will be showing you is using the Visual Studio. So for that, I will be launching the Visual Studio real quick. And also I'll be launching emulator. And sometimes, depending on your machine, the Visual Studio may take some time. Again, to develop the custom bot using bot framework, you can use C#, you can use Node.js, Java, or Python. In today's demo, I will be using a C#. That's why I am launching Visual Studio. However, you can use other IDEs as well, depending on what type of a language you would like to use. Okay. So let's create a new project. And here I will be just typing echo bot. And in your, if you are a C# developer and in your Visual Studio, if you don't see this template, that means you just need to install this template. So just search for echo, and this is the template I will be using, and then click next and just give it a name. I'll be calling it MSFT Reactor Demo 01 echo bot demo 01. And then I will be specifying the location. Let's select the C drive here and then temp. All right. And then click create. And depending on your machine, since I'm running a Teams live event, things are a little bit slow on my machine. However, depending on what kind of IDE you use and depending on how fast your machine is, you will see a much better experience or performance. So now Visual Studio is creating the project, and all I did so far is I just created an empty project with using the EcoBot template. The next thing I'll be doing is I will be just building this and see if it compiles fine. And so far I didn't write a single line of code here. Okay, the build is successfully. Next thing I'll be doing is I'll be running this bot locally on my machine. So I'll be just starting a new instance of this bot on my machine. And if everything is fine, if all the required tools are installed fine, then this bot will start locally on my machine. Okay, so here the bot is running, and if you see here, once you run a bot on your machine, the same step that we explained, like we covered before, the same steps are mentioned here, like how you should build a bot. And here, if you don't know the link for the emulator, you can download the emulator by clicking here. However, I already downloaded the emulator, and this is the emulator that we have. And with the emulator, I can test this bot locally on my machine. So let's go to the bot URL, and this is the URL of the bot, which is localhost, the port number, and then API and messages, and then click connect. And if everything is right, we will be able to connect to the bot using the emulator, and this bot is running locally on my machine. So let's type hello. And since I went with the EcoBot template, what does this template do is it will type you back everything, anything that you write in the chat window. So far, the example we have seen is a bot running on my machine, and we can test interact with that bot using bot framework emulator. And again, going back to the statement I made is a bot is nothing but a website. And I would like to preview that. Like here, I'm running my bot as a website on my machine here, and I'm just interacting with the bot using a different kind of user interface. So if in your career, if you have built any website or if you have host any website, then similar concept also goes with the custom bot. But so far what you have seen is the bot is just typing back whatever I am typing. So this is a basic bot without any kind of intelligence or any kind of AI infused in it. So let's see how we can infuse AI in this bot. And when it comes to infusing AI in the bot, what are the options available to us when it comes to Microsoft ecosystem? So for that, let me pause the debugging here. Um, Let me close the Visual Studio and let me minimize this and let me close this and let me go to the next section in the slides. So again, depending on what version of Visual Studio you are using, you may have to download some prerequisite. Again, check Microsoft documentation on that. If you are on the latest 2019, you may just have to download some templates, just going through the installer. Or if you are using earlier version, then you may have to do some manual steps. The steps I have listed here are for Visual Studio 2015. So when it comes to adding the human edge to your bot, one of the options we can do is we can use something called Microsoft Cognitive Services. Now, Microsoft Cognitive Services are nothing but an AI as a service, which is already built with pre-built AI model, where all we need to do is to infuse AI is just to use those services. And these services are available to us as a REST-based endpoints. And all you need is the key for that REST-based endpoint. And these cognitive services are flexible. That means we can integrate cognitive services with any language of our choice. We can integrate those with Node.js, with C#, with Apple, with Python, and the pre-trained model that Microsoft is using for the cognitive services are actually product of Microsoft research. And not many people know, but Microsoft Research is doing a phenomenal job in the research of AI and machine learning from last 20 years. And what they have done is whatever the proprietary models they have, they are using that uh, to power these cognitive services. And the documentation about the cognitive services is available on GitHub. If you have any questions about the cognitive services, you can always ask those on the Stack Overflow. And Microsoft is paying people to answer those questions. If any feature is missing, you can always go to the user voice and request for that feature. So as I mentioned, cognitive services are nothing but a REST-based endpoint. That means we can use cognitive services in any application as long as that application can consume a REST-based endpoint. Someone in the audience made a comment about automating repetitive tasks, and there are some product available, and there is a specific term for that called robotic process automation. And some of the vendors which are there in the robotic process automations allows you to consume REST based APIs without writing a single line of code. So in those kind of application, you can still use cognitive services, so you can add additional AI capabilities to your application. So when it comes to creating the bots which uses cognitive services, what are some of the practical applications we can build? So I want to list those first before I show you the example of it. So in your enterprise, in your company, you can launch the bot which uses cognitive services, where using the bot, the uh, your employees can book the meeting rooms. We can also use that for in-house help desk. We can also use that for intelligent search. If your organization has content span across various products, various location, you can use intelligent search where you use the cognitive services like the Bing search, and then that way you can surface the content depending on who the user is, what are their interests, what are they mostly talk about, or what are their department is. We can also come up with recommendation engines, like if our organization has a good historical data on what kind of training your users has done and during what time frame and how much it used to cost, you can generate a custom model which you can give recommendation, and your bot can then give that information. Okay, which are the months where your employees request the training the most, what's the normal cost for that, how many days they will be not doing the work and attending the training session. So those kind of information you can get. Similar thing goes with the resourcing as well, and the process improvement as well. So when it comes to the conversational AI tool in Microsoft Stack, these are the options available to us right now. So we have a language understanding service, we have Azure Search, we have Q&A Maker, we have Bing Speech API, we have a speaker recognition API, the translator, the custom speech service. And one of the attendees asked the question before is, what are the languages are supported under conversational AI tools? So my recommendation for you is, so check which service you're planning to use and then check that services documentation to find out what are the languages that are supported. I know world's most top 10 popular languages are supported, and Microsoft are including support for additional languages. However, I don't know the entire set of languages here. So the next set of demo, what I'll be doing is I will be using a service called Q&A Maker, which is again an AI as a service available to us via cognitive services, and we will be quickly creating an intelligent bot using this Q&A Maker service. So while I'm conducting the demos, feel free to ask if you have any additional questions. So for that, use your favorite browser and use your favorite search engine and just search for Microsoft Cognitive Services. And the link we are looking for is this one. And here, if you scroll down on this particular page, you will see all the various cognitive services categorized into five categories: decision, language, speech, vision, and web search. So the stuff we are looking for is Q&A maker service that is under a language. So if I click on language, I will see the language understanding, which is Lewis, which is very popular service that gets used into the bots. Then we have a Q&A maker service, text analytics, and translator. So in today's demo, we'll be showing the demo of the Q&A maker service. So let's click on that. And here we'll be finding information about how Q&A maker service work. And this here, if you click on the demo, you will be seeing how the demo will work with step-by-step instruction here. So for that, what I'll be doing is I'll be straight away launching, click on get started. And I'll be launching a site called qnamaker.ai. And again, once you launch this, it will ask you to log in. And now I'll be clicking on sign in here. You can start using Q&A Maker using the trial account, or if you already have an existing Azure subscription, you can also use that as well. All right. So the way Q&A Maker service works is most of the companies already have a pre-built information as part of the knowledge base, and that knowledge base can be in any form. Like some companies maintain some of the frequently asked question in the form of PDF documents or Word documents or Excel sheet. Some of the organization have that information publicly available. So what we'll be doing is we will be gathering that information, feeding that into the Q&A maker service, which is an AI service, and then surface that information via a bot. So that if I am an employee and if I ask a question, then that AI service will get that information from the knowledge base here. So first thing first, what we need to do is create a knowledge base here. So click on create knowledge base. And to host this knowledge base, we need to have a Q&A maker service. So for that, we need to create that service. And again, the page for the Azure portal will get launched. And if this is the first time you are seeing the Azure portal, don't worry. It just the additional steps you have to take to configure the Q&A maker service. So first thing first, you have to provide the information about the subscription and the resource group. And I will be providing the resource group here. Then what should be the name? So what I'll be doing is, since we are going through a COVID-19 pandemic, what the example I would like to give you here is in the company's portal, we will be creating a knowledge base with the latest and greatest information about the COVID-19. And then as an employee, if I need any information about COVID-19, the company policies, then I will be interacting with the bot, and then bot will surface that information from this knowledge base here. So we'll be calling as MSFT reactor COVID-19 KB. The pricing tier, you can always start with the free, which is grayed out right now, which is F0, where you don't get charged for anything, or you can go with the standard. One thing you have to keep in mind is per subscription, you can only create one free tier. I think I have already created that. So I will be going with the paid tier here. Then what will be the Azure search location? Again, the location is key. You should have the same location where majority of your user exist, or same location where other resources that you will be using for the bot are located. So in our case, since I am from East Coast of US, I will be using East Coast of US, which is this one. Then the Azure search pricing tier, again, you can go with the free tier here. Then what will be the name? This will be the name, the website location. Again, since I'm using Azure search location as East US, I will be going with East US as well here. And then app insights. And if you would like to use application insight, again, use the same location where majority of your resources are. So once you enter everything, the next thing you have to do is click on create. I'm not going to create this because I have already created one. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going back here and then use that Q&A maker service here. So first thing first, you had to use the Microsoft Azure Azure directory ID here. And if you don't know what's your directory ID, just go to the portal.azure.com and just click on Active Directory and just click on the overview. So here you will be seeing the information about your primary domain and the name of your tenant. So then you should select that, and then inside that you have to select the subscription and then the corresponding service. Okay, the name of the service is not coming up. What I'll be doing is I'll be just quickly creating this so we can use that. So let's me click on review and create. And this should take 1 or 2 minutes depending on what kind of okay. All right, looks like I already used the free tier. So that means I have to use the paid tier here. So I cannot go with the free tier. Let's go with the basics. All right, and click create. All right. Now it's getting created or getting validated, and you see here in the top notification bar, the service is getting deployed, and again it will take a couple of minutes to get it deployed. And once it's deployed, then this is the service we will be using under our knowledge base. In the meantime, I'll see if there are any questions in the chat window. Okay, the deployment is in progress. And I will be going back to my Q&A maker page. Just click the refresh here. And it's now loading all the Q&A maker service. Let's see, it's still going on. All right, looks like it is progressing now. So while it's loading it, let's do the things that we can configure before we have the Q&A maker service. So let's give it a name as MSFT Reactor COVID-19 KB. And then here is the link where you can provide, if you already have the existing knowledge base, you can use that to populate your knowledge base, or you can start from the scratch as well. So here you can either upload the files from your file system which are in the .tsv, PDF, docx, or XLL format, or you can also give the URL of a public facing page where the information is hosted. So what I will be doing is to show you the power of this service, I will be getting COVID-19 FAQs from the CDC, which is a US government agency. Where we'll see the frequently asked questions. Let's go back and do FAQs and see if we can find a better result. All right, this is the one. So here, if you see on this page, there are various questions available, and then if you expand, the information is available on various questions. So let's use this page, copy the URL of this one, and looks like this resource, the service is completed, and let's paste it there. And let's select the subscription, and let's select, let's click refresh here, and we should be able to see the service we just created for the Q&A maker. And while this is loading, the next thing we will be doing is chit chat. So when you create a knowledge base, you can also specify the chit chat, the personality, like what kind of personality you would like to have your bot to be. In this case, I'll be going with witty. But if you are doing this demo or quick proof of concept for your C-level executive or managers, I will recommend you go with professional. But if you are working for an agency or a nonprofit, you can also choose caring or enthusiastic. So in this case, we will go with witty. And then once this step 2 is done, like once the data is loaded, we will use that configure that we will select the correct service and then finally click on create your knowledge base. So just wait for that. All right, it is taking more time than normal for this one. Okay, looks like everything is back. So let's expand this. Why this is not available? This is interesting. So we created a service and I'm using the same account. Yes. And I'm using the same. Let's do some other stuff and select the tenant. And this is the various tenants I have. I'll be going with this one, which is the current one. Let me change the subscription real quick. MVP, select the service. Something is not right with the Q&A maker service right now. Looks like there is some kind of outage. Otherwise, we would have seen that. So once you click create, the knowledge base will created. I anticipate. Looks like the demo gods are not with us, but don't worry. I have already a knowledge. I have already created a knowledge base similar to that. So let's look at that. Okay, let me refresh this page again. Something is totally off with this service, it seems today, because normally I don't get this kind of issues with the service. Let me try this in incognito mode as well, just to make sure. Okay. Let's go. All right, multi-factor authentication. Let me accept that. Okay. Done. And let's see this window as well. It's still loading. And let's see what's happening here. Okay, it's loading. And what about this one? We will just maybe, since we are running out of time, I will just wait maybe a minute here. Otherwise, I will move on to the next thing. So just wait for this maybe 30 more seconds. Otherwise, we will move on to the next thing. Okay. It is loading right now. All right. So while it's coming back, let me show you, like I have already deployed this as a bot. Okay, looks like something's really off. So let's go to, once this is done, the next thing is to create a bot using this service, a knowledge base. So I have already created a bot. So let's quickly open that up, and I will show you that bot into the Azure portal. Then resource group should be AI. Okay, and this is the bot we're looking for. So this is the bot we created, and let's test this bot in the chat. And let me type something hello and say whether bot is working or not. Uh, can can you give me info on COVID-19? And if everything is working fine, looks like this is not a right bot. So let's go back to the previous screen and see if you have okay, or this may not be the right subscription. Okay, nope. Let's go there. Perfect. Okay. And channels. All right. Test. And let's see if this is loading or not. Nope, looks like something is really off with either my subscription or with the knowledge base I have, because I do remember creating the bot which was tied up with this particular bot, the knowledge base, and the bot could surface then question about the COVID-19 why I bought, and also there I could show you there that there was some situation where I could show like how AI is infused where, because if I even if I ask questions in incorrectly, even if I ask questions in a different way, the still I will be getting the correct answer. So with that, let's move on to the next stuff. Looks like the demo gods are not with us. So the next product we have in Microsoft ecosystem that we can use to create a no-code bot. Oh, looks like thing is working. Okay, so let me show you the implementation of this real quick. So I use this knowledge base and created this bot using Microsoft Bot Framework, and I exposed that bot on a page here. Okay, and here I just starting like as a hello, and the bot will come back with hey, and then next thing I'm asking as employee is, can you give me info on COVID-19? And if there is information available, that information is coming back with all the information from that CDC website. Now let me ask this question in a different way, and here I would like to show the capabilities of AI here. Please tell me info on COVID-19. And again, the information is coming back. So you can see here is just like the humans, because if I have to ask any question to, let's say, my wife or my friend, I may phrase that question in a multiple way. And same thing you can anticipate from your users as well, or from your employees as well, that while interacting with the bot, they may ask the same question in a multiple way. And then your bot should be able to understand and then provide you the answers for that. Okay. Let's see if I can do. Can you give info on COVID-19? Nope, looks like something is off here. So with that, let's move on to the next section of the demo. And here I would like to show a quick demo of Power Virtual Agents. Here you don't need to use the code here. You can just start creating the bots, and you can start creating the bots today itself. Just go to this link and click on the sign in. And you can start creating the bots. And again, I have very simple example here where what I've done is I had to just extend my trial. That's fine. Okay. Okay, let's go. And again, as I mentioned before, Power Virtual Agents are available in the software as a service category. And we can create bots without writing a single line of code. Whenever you sign in for the Power Virtual Agent for the first time, this is kind of the user interface you will be seeing. Where you will be seeing in the left-hand navigation, the topics, the entities, the analytics, the publish and manage. And the icon that we should be looking for is this, the small bots icon here. So if you click on that, here you will be seeing all the bots that you have created so far. So in my case, I have created the three bots. The bots I would like to show you is the first PVR bot. And inside that, let me show you the quick topics here. And what I did is I just simulated a computer request, a computer request problem here. So let me click on that. And the way the Power Virtual Agent works is you can have various topics, and each topic will get triggered based on what are the trigger or based on the trigger phrases the user will use. So in this case, if the employee while interacting with the bot uses any of this phrase, then this particular this particular topic, which is uh, computer request, will kick in. And if I click on this go to authoring canvas, here I can design what kind of experience the bot will give to the user. And here I can configure what kind of questions the bot will answer and what kind of uh, the steps the bot will take. Looks like this is not the correct demo. So let me go back here and go to home. Go to the enterprise help desk bot. So I'm just switching that. And then let's go to the topic there. Let's go to the topic. And let's click on the IT issues. So if the user or if the employee mention any of this name, then this particular topic will get triggered. And here I can configure what will be the follow-up questions, and depending on the employee's answers, what should be the follow-up step the bot will take. So here, if the user mention any of these topics, then this particular message will get displayed. And then the bot will ask the question, are you stuck right now? And depending on the answer, then we will be taking multiple steps where if the user is stuck, then we will transfer the control to an actual human agent. If he's not stuck, then we will give them additional instructions, and depending on the answer, then we'll then take the additional steps. So let's test this real quick. So in the Power Virtual Agent window itself, I can or in the browser session itself, I can test this bot. So I'll be interacting with this hello, and then I will have some predefined greeting message which we can configure, and I will mention my machine is acting up and it is very slow. So you'll see automatically this topic got triggered, and in the Power Virtual Agents designer itself, I can actually debug this experience, debug this conversation right now. So the bot is saying, okay, I'm sorry, you have some problems with the machine. Are you stuck right now? So if I click, depending on the answer, yes and no, I can see this in the debug mode here in the right hand section. So I'll be clicking no, and then I can also watch what kind of values the variables have. So the first variable, the value that user selected was no. And then the next question is, did you reboot your machine? Because trust me, restarting the machine fixes a lot of issues, especially if you are in the Windows or Linux ecosystem. So I will be clicking yes. Then it will be asking, okay, how old is your machine? And here, just to show you the capabilities of AI, what I'll be typing is in a different format. I won't be giving a specific answer. So my machine years old. Okay. So instead of just typing 4, I am just giving 4 years old. And here, if you see the value of the URL variable, so the bot was able to comprehend from this statement, my machine is 4 year old, how much is the age of the machine? And it came back as a 4. So there is already inbuilt AI there where the bot will comprehend a lot of messages which and you don't have to like explicitly specify the exact same response. So the response can be in a different format as well. So since the machine is 4 years old, I'm eligible for an upgrade. And this is the form that I can fill out. So if I click on this, this form will launch in the new window and I can fill that form out. Very simple. And did that answer your question? Yes. And whether I'm satisfied with the answer? Yes. No, thank you. And this is how the conversation will end. And if I go back to the topics again, similarly, I can have various topics. I can transfer the control from one topic to another. I can transfer the control to a human agent as well. And if you click on the manage here, and if I click on the channel, so I can deploy the same bots to multiple channels as well. Like I can deploy to Microsoft Teams, I can deploy it to demo website, to the custom website as a mobile app, as a Skype, to the Cortana. I can also deploy that to the Slack, Telegram, Twilio, Kik, Line, GroupMe, direct line of speech, and email without writing any single line of code. So that was a quick 5 to 10 minute demo of the Power Virtual Agent. So here I would like to, so I worked a lot on Power Virtual Agents as well as Microsoft Bot Framework. And here I would like to give the quick rundown of comparison. And again, these are my thoughts. And some of you may not agree with this, where Power Virtual Agent is very easy to create the bots. Uh, uh, However, if you go with Microsoft Bot Framework, there is a steep learning curve involved there. The ideal audience for the Power Virtual Agents are power users and IT pros. Microsoft Bot Framework, you need developers. The maintenance and enhancements are easy with the Power Virtual Agents. The maintenance and enhancements are a little bit cumbersome with Microsoft Bot Framework. And one of the key point about the Power Virtual Agent is it uses all the Microsoft AI services under the hood. So you don't have to explicitly know about the services, or you don't have explicitly need to understand the services at all. Whereas with Microsoft Bot Framework, you have to first identify what kind of AI service you would like to use, and then you have to integrate that service with your custom bot. For example, if you would like to use Q&A Maker service or Lewis or any other cognitive service, then you have to integrate that with your bot. There is inbuilt support for analytics. There is no inbuilt support for analytics there. You have to use App Insights for that. Uh, Power Virtual Agents are a little bit expensive to begin with. However, there is no easy way to manage the cost across departments. So you will be seeing the cost across your entire organization. Then the last thing is Microsoft Bot Framework is really inexpensive to begin with. That means you can start creating bots, and your upfront cost will not be that high. However, you need to take into account a lot of additional factors like various Azure services like the Azure Bot Service, App Insight, Search, Cognitive Services, etc. With that, we come to the end, and I just have a couple of resources in case you would like to expand your knowledge in Microsoft ecosystem and you would like to learn about the various Microsoft products. Then there are ways to get the personal access for free. If you would like to learn about the Microsoft Power Platform, or you would like to learn about the Teams, the SharePoint, you can request a free Office 365 tenant by just going to this link and signing up for the developer program. And with that program, you get a personal Microsoft Office 365 E5 subscription for free, which is really good for personal training and development. You can also sign up for the free trial. However, you need to use your credit card for the free trial. And to host the bots in Azure or to use cognitive services, you need Azure subscription. And there are multiple ways to get Azure subscription for free. One of the recommended ways is if your organization is participating in Microsoft MSDN program, then based on your subscription, you may get some credits for free. Right now, the enterprise subscription gives you $150 credit per month. The standard will give you less than that. You can also sign up for the free trial depending on where you are signing from in the sense of country. If you're signing from the US, then right now you get $200 of credit for free that you can use within a year. There is another program from Microsoft called Microsoft Imagine, which used to call DreamSpark before, where you don't need a credit card. However, you need a valid ID from an educational institution. And if that educational institution is participating in Microsoft Imagine, you can get a Azure subscription with limited feature set. So these are the things we covered today. Hopefully the contents we covered today made you excited about the bots, and you will play with it. And these are the things we covered today. And these are the references you can follow. And these are my contact details. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to email me. I'm also available on Twitter. I'm also available on LinkedIn. And we will be also sharing the slides via the Meetup link, the Meetup link you follow. And also Rebecca will also be posting the link for the additional survey as well. So please provide the feedback. And if you have any questions, just type those in the chat window, or you can also later on post those questions on the email or on the Twitter as well. With that, thank you very much for coming. Stay safe, stay healthy, and let me know if you have any questions. Off to you, Rebecca.
Hi, Prashant. Thank you. I think you may have answered it, so forgive me if not. There was one question that came in toward the very end, which was, which web part did you use to display the bot on the SharePoint page?
Okay, yes, I missed that. So when it comes to who's showing the bot on a SharePoint page, you have multiple options. The quickest and easiest way is you can display your bot as iframe on your SharePoint page. However, that bot will not know what kind of user that bot is interacting with. Second way you can do it, you can create a custom web part using SharePoint framework, where you can pass on the custom identity of the user who's logged into that page to the bot. So that way, then bot can provide more or a different kind of information based on who that logged in user is.
Great, thank you so much. And with that, so I've posted the link to our survey in the chat. If you are still on the call and you have the opportunity, we do ask that you fill that out and enter the event code, which is 10225, just to give us some feedback. We definitely review those surveys and apply them into planning for our future events and what we feature. We do have constant updates to our meetup calendars. So if you're a member of one of our meetup pages, definitely check those out. We also recommend visiting our Microsoft Reactor event calendar, which you can look up and check out. We post other community events there. We have different time zones, but right now with COVID, much of our content is virtual. So perhaps if you're a night person or an early morning person, there might be events that are featured in other time zones that aren't necessarily yours, but you might be interested in seeing. So definitely visit our main Microsoft Reactor calendar as well for that. And with that, I think we will wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you all very much. And thank you, Prashant, again for presenting.
Thank you, Rebecca, and thank everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye-bye.